So about 10 minutes before I walked in the door after getting home from 10 minutes before I got home from Mississippi yesterday, Tom Brady throws his 600th career touchdown, passing touchdown, which is the most that any quarterback has ever thrown, because when you play until you're 70,000 years old, that's what happens. And he then proceeded to throw what, 4 more? 5 more? I don't know. I was like, can we get a mercy rule for this game? Because poor Justin Fields, the Bears, like, someone just end this. Like, this feels unfair.
You didn't have to bring Justin Fields into this. This is about Tom Brady, Charlotte. Let's stay focused here. Sorry, Justin Fields does not play defense for the Bears. He did not play much offense either, but he does not.
Yeah, all right. I won't. This isn't about Justin. This is about Tom. And Mike Evans, who caught the 600th touchdown without thinking, tosses it into the stands. And the thing that's funny to me about this is the fan, they had to haggle with the fan for like an entire quarter to get the ball back.
Yeah.
Because the guy was like, I would really love not to give this back.
I would really love
you.
to make life-changing money by selling this ball. Yes. Yeah.
And he eventually gives it back in return for like, they were going to give him an autograph or like something. And I read an article that said that ball could have gone for like $500,000 at auction.
Unbelievable.
But my point is that the fan didn't have a choice. That guy can't keep that ball because he never should have had it in the first place. Second of all, he would be dragged over it would be Steve Bartman-esque, I think, if he kept that ball. Except maybe not, because a lot of people still don't like Tom Brady. So maybe he'd be a hero. I don't know. What do you think?
I think one thing I've learned from the internet, I've learned 2 things from the internet. 2, you absolutely under no circumstances never do is never talk to the cops if you're arrested or brought in for questioning whether you're innocent or not. I've had that beaten into my head. It's like they're not your friend. Don't
say anything.
Hire a lawyer, have them talk to him. That's been beaten into my head. Don't ever talk to the cops. The other is never give up the memorabilia to the team. I've had that beat in my head. Yeah, because I think you can do it after the fact. I think you can, like, again, hire a lawyer. Let the lawyer talk to the guy or something. I don't think because
What about the guy who's...
Because you have a, like, I get it. It's not his to begin with, but it also, if this was Tom Brady's 599th career touchdown pass, and Mike Evans tosses it into the crowd, and the guy catches it, is there a single person on earth that's like, you have to give that ball? I guess maybe the team might want the ball back or whatever, but those are the rules, is that you can keep it. The same is true of, like, these guys' home runs that, Mark McGwire breaks Roger Maris's record and whatever happens to the ball. Like, the guy I remember that was a story. Like, one of the Cardinals ball boys, like, gave it back, and he got like a $50 Chili's gift card, and he could have sold it for like $20 million,
Yeah.
And every time I read about that, I'm like, just, you could still, like, I understand being put in a position where if you're a true fan of the team, you have to respect that this would be a big deal to Tom Brady for him to have it. Like, this is more about him than me. All of that is true. But I would then talk to the team and be like, I really, really, really want to give this back to Tom. I don't want to sell this to some, bozo on the open market. But also, I could sell this to a bozo on the open market. So this is a two-way street. If I'm going to show love to you, you got to show me some love back. Just give me like 50. I don't know, whatever. Figure out what it will sell for on the open market. Give me half that, and I'll take it.
Yep.
And then I think if the guy doesn't accept that, then we as a society can call him a dick and be like, "Come on, dude, what are you doing?" But the offer of, like, we'll give you what are they? We'll give you like a parking pass to a preseason game next year, and like,
yes,
a headshot of Tom Brady that, like,
that he may or may not have signed himself.
He didn't sign it, but we'll print his signature over top of it. Like, we'll run it through the printer.
Do you want an NFT, sir?
Yeah.
No,
like,
I mean,
what the hell?
I agree, and I don't think he could have sort of, like, politically as a statement for the team. Like, he can't really keep it. He can't really hang on to it, but they've got to do him a little bit better than, because that man, I don't know who he was. He could be an oil magnate. I could be wrong. I would bet he needs $500,000 more than Tom Brady needs a football.
Yes. And the other thing is, you can always, I don't think you should never give it to the team. I just think you should never do it in that moment, because that guy could always take the football home, sleep on it for like a week, and then be like, I need to sell this. I need to give this to Tom Brady. I don't need to sell that or whatever. Yeah. And, like, have the epiphany of, like, what's the right thing to do? I should give the ball back. But to do it under duress when you have the ball and, like, everyone's like huddling around you, and then, like, some guy taps you on the shoulder with a Buccaneers polo on. Is like, sir, I need the ball. I need the ball. I'd be like, get lost, dude. I would just
stick to your guns.
Yeah,
hold that ball.
I would just tuck and run, and I would just take off running.
You can also hold it because at that point you're holding it ransom, right? You're like, give me $500,000 and you can have the ball back. And the Buccaneers definitely have $500,000.
I would take a knife and just hold it up to the ball and be like, pay me or I'll do it. I'll do it.
Especially with Tom Brady, that would carry real weight. He's like, I'll deflate it. I'll do it.
I will rip this ball to shreds. I swear to God, I'll do it.
There will be no air pressure left inside this ball. But there was a very funny picture of the Bucs personnel guy pleading with him from the field, like looking up at the stands. Yeah, that someone tweeted out that I just, for some reason, the whole thing just like absolutely cracked me up because this is the stupid sports stuff that I just think is
along those same lines. Didn't Tom Brady get a jersey stolen one time out of the locker room? Is that correct? Or who was it? It was Brady, right? Out of the Super Bowl locker room? It was
Brady at the 28-3 Super Bowl.
That's right.
Because I was there and I was interviewing.
Oh, you were? Interesting.
Well, you know.
Where were you on the night of?
I took it. No, because there was this huge commotion. I was in the Pats locker room doing the interviews there. And then all of a sudden, like cops come in, like there was this, like the stadium just turns into chaos because someone's like, the jersey's gone. And it was like this manhunt to find the jersey. And they eventually tracked it down. But it was the only thing that Boston media talked about for like 2 weeks.
I saw that Emmitt Smith, the interview he did where he said that when he broke the all-time rushing record, career rushing record, that he knew he was going to break it that night, and he knew that the memorabilia was going to be so desirable that he wore 4 different sets of uniforms. He changed every single quarter. He changed uniforms, and he gave, I forget what he said. Like he sold one for charity, one he gave to someone, one went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and then one he kept for himself. And he said the one he did that because he knew that like all these people would want one, and the one he kept himself was the uniform he was actually wearing when he broke so he's like, I'm the only one that has the actual one. But he knew that people would want it, so he's like, yeah, here's the uniform I wore, and gave it to the Hall of Fame or whatever. I don't know.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. So
Tom Brady should have done that.
You should do that.
Tom Brady at this point, because every time Tom Brady steps on the field at this point, he's going to break a record. He should just change uniforms. Yes. Like we're a different one every quarter. I think that's what he has to do.
He should.
Seriously.
Yeah. I think
you
also
give so much money to charity for that.
I think every fan should bring a bunch of baseballs to baseball games and baseball bet. Like you should bring all the equipment to these sporting events. Maybe that's what. So that way, like if you catch the football, you can do a swap-a-roo and be like, yeah, here's your football back, and you have. Maybe that's what the Tennessee fans that were throwing on the field against Ole Miss. Maybe the guy had gone to a golf tournament earlier and had the golf ball in his thing, and he was prepared for. Or he maybe that's what it was.
He was ready to keep the golf ball.
Someone throws a golf ball, I'm gonna do the switcheroo and throw it. I don't know.
Speaking of that, I think we should leave everyone on this note, which is that we should leave. We should, but also I want everyone to go look at how much you looked like Lane Kiffin at the Ole Miss game. Hey pals, thanks for watching the People's Sports Podcast YouTube channel. For more of mine and Mark's very weird rabbit holes, stick around, watch more. You can subscribe, smash that subscribe button. You know you want to. We're going to give you all the weird stuff we possibly can.